Have you ever walked out of the theater, you had no expectations for that said movie, you walked out of the theater and you said, wow, that's my favorite movie of the year now? Well, guess what? I had exactly that experience. So let's talk about Ghostlight. Ghostlight is about a reserve construction worker and his rebellious teenage daughter bond through a production of Romeo and Juliet. The film stars Keith Kupferer, Katherine Kupferer, Tara Mallen, and Dolly de Leon, and was directed by Alex Thompson and Kelly O'Sullivan, and I've never seen any of their previous works. So going into Ghostlight, I did see a trailer for this one time, and the only thing that I really remember from that trailer is I remember a girl just kind of acting out. That's really all I really remember. So going into this film, I was pretty fresh. I did see that Rotten Tomatoes had really good scores for this film, but I always take that with stride and just go into the film and formulate my own opinion. And I have to say, after watching this film, this is the best film that I have seen this year. Now I'll go ahead and start off with the story. We have Dan, who is a construction worker. He's dealing with a lot of stress. He has a lawsuit that he's dealing with. I'm not going to elaborate on that lawsuit because it does go into spoiler territory. He has a daughter who has behavior issues, and he has a wife who is a teacher at a local school, and they really are having a hard time as a family and bonding together. Dan really starts to struggle. He has a few outbursts at work. There's a guy that almost runs him over and he chokes him out and he has to go on leave. And then his wife is planting a garden in a certain spot that's very sentimental to Dan. Again, I'm not going to go into those details as it will go into spoiler territory, but he flips out on her. He meets this woman named Rita who invites him to go to this theater to watch them do the play Romeo and Juliet. And he reads some lines and he starts to really bond with these people, and it really starts to be his outlet because he is very alone. He is a very old school guy. This man, he's very repressed with his feelings, and this really relates to me in a way because I think with men, sometimes we are meant to be a lot stronger, like we can't really show our emotions. I feel like in some ways that's kind of an old school kind of feeling, but I do feel like sometimes us guys, we have trouble really actually getting our emotions out there, maybe crying or feeling like really weak if we really show our emotions. And that's exactly how Dan is. He really just bottles up his emotions. He doesn't really like to show anything too much. And then he just kind of just has outbursts because he's really bottling up all these feelings. He starts to bond with his daughter again and talks to her about Romeo and Juliet and just the play and such. His daughter, she used to be in theater, but she really started to lose interest. One of the central messages of this film is art itself. I think art, music, and movies, they're all really important. They all play a pivotal part in our lives. That is people's scapegoats. And I think for Dan here, the fact that he's doing this play, this is his scapegoat for a lot of the bullshit that's happening in his life, which can really relate to a lot of people. And I could definitely relate to it as well, because sometimes you need that bond to do something else to really get your mind off of certain things that are going in your life. There's always stress you're going to have. There's always something that is going to come up in your life and not really necessarily run smoothly. So having that outlet to talk to somebody else or just have some fun and just be yourself, that's what this movie is. Dan here, he is bonding with a whole bunch of different people, and he's really discovering himself. He's really just having joy really doing this play. He's doing something that he's never really done before, and the fact that he does this play and bond with a variety of people, it really brings him that joy. It brings him that happiness to really be himself. The acting in this film is absolutely phenomenal. The family here, they flow so natural, and the reason for that is I found out that all of them are a family in real life, so it's so smooth in the transitions between their dialogue and the drama that really unfolds. And I love the fact that Romeo and Juliet really ties into the tragedies that's really happening with this family, and it eventually just gradually comes to a whole reveal towards the end of the film, which really makes a lot of sense because there's certain things that are happening within this play where Dan is really having to face his fears and really get his emotions out and really explain certain things that he's feeling, which he never has done before because he's really lonely. He's having trouble really getting out any kind of emotions, and most of the time before he even went to start doing this play, he was just having an occasional beer and hanging out with a buddy, but he wasn't talking about his feelings. Everything was being bottled up one by one. So this tells him that he needs to be forced to really just get out his feelings and really bond with other people and just, understand that certain things in life, they're not going to go your way, but you have to kind of press on and keep going because you can't sit there and blame yourself. Now, unlike a lot of other films this year, this film does actually combine genres, but I think it does it a lot better. Now, it does have some comedy, which I think the comedy bits are exactly where they need to be, and then it has its drama bits in which when it hits the drama, it hits it really hard. You definitely will need some tissues for this film, as it definitely is very heavy in its subject material, and it definitely hit me hard. I was in an actual audience with only maybe 2 other people, and I definitely was shedding some tears, and I was trying to let them know that I wasn't crying during this, but it definitely hit me very hard during the reveal later on in the film, because there's definitely a lot of relation. This film, it really shows you how to really process pain while also portraying your strength to be strong and just, be yourself, and also longing for a deep connection within somebody else, and also having the world's length just right there at your grip to just, keep carrying on and just understand that not everything that is really going on you can technically control all the time, but sometimes you have to move on from that and really get all your feelings out. And this was just a great way to really portray a story and tie everything together. And by the end of this film, I can say that I would give this film a 5 out of 5. There's nothing that I can say that I really did not like about this film. I think everything that went into this film as a lower budget film, it was just done remarkable, and I can't rave about it enough. It really was that great of a film. So have you guys heard of this film? If you have not, is it something that you're going to check out? I definitely say, guys, that you should not sleep on this film. Definitely check it out. I'm telling you, this is a film that you cannot miss. It is a film that, even though it's simple in its plot, it does have a lot to say in relation to feelings, art, music, all that kind of thing. It all is wrapped into one. So I really enjoyed it, and it is an excellent film. Thank you guys for watching this review, and I will see you guys next time.